The third season to me would have probably been the best season out of the series. I mean, with all due respect to the second season, from what Ben Hurst had described to us on the set, on the DVD box set, and then before that on some of the online chats he had, he described basically it was going to be a whole new ball game for the characters. He said that Tails was going to get some new power that he would discover and use to help save the others, and save the other freedom fighters, I should say. And that there was going to be a love triangle between Sonic, Sally, and another freedom fighter, and Snively, of course, was going to ascend and then descend after freeing Naugus and eventually join the freedom fighters. And overall, from what he described and from what other fans have asked him about, yeah, I think overall, again, like I said, I truly believe the third season would have been the best out of them all. There have been some fans that have said, I don't know, they just spread these because these were rumors, or they're hoping this would happen. But there have been some fans that have said that they've heard stories that there were going to be other seasons after the third season. That there was going to be a fourth season with Knuckles and Mechasonic were going to appear. Stories that there was going to be a season 5 that maybe we were going to get introduced to Amy Rose possibly or something. Things like that. Maybe get introduced to the Chaotix. These are stories and from that I've heard that fans have talked about and have said that these are stories that they heard. Of what could have been, that was originally probably planned for what if the third season had been ran on television, of what possibly a fourth and fifth season would have been like. To be honest, I really believe that the third season would have been a great season. I know Ben Hurst and even myself, and I know a lot of fans that would love to see that third season finally get made. Even if it's in a movie format, we would like to see it get made, to see exactly what would have been. And again, like I said, a lot of fans came up with stories of saying, we heard that that if the third season had been made, there was going to be a fourth season. This was going to happen in the fourth season, and if that would have happened, this would have happened. They would have had a fifth season, and all that. These kind of, just all these different stories of what would have been had the third season been made. But unfortunately, the third season was never made. But one can never give up hope, because eventually, possibly, it will be made. Maybe someone like Ben Hurst will say, hey, this show looked pretty good. Looked like they had another season planned. Let's go for it. And the fans, and the fan support for the third season is a strong one. I support a third season if it ever gets made. But yeah, fan support for it is really strong, because I can remember 4 or 5 years ago, I was on the internet, and I discovered one of the sites, which was SonicSatAM.com or SatAMFans.com or whatever you call it. And on this site, they had a webcomic that they made based on the Lost third season. And they took basically took titles, and they basically made like I said, they made webcomics out of these. So, basically they took what they felt and heard were the titles for some of the episodes, and they made, like I said, they made all these webcomics out of them. 2 webcomics were called Beware of the Aftermath, which someone said were the original titles for the 2-parter that was supposed to take place in the third season. And then another was called The Journal. So, these were titles that they came up with. And then eventually, some fan, I don't know who it was, finally took some time out and took Beware of the Aftermath, the webcomic, and turned it into some kind of flash movie, if you will, with bubbles, with little pop-up bubbles and everything, and a little bit of animation. So again, that shows you how dedicated the fans were to the third season. Even though some of the titles that the fans read about for the third season, they kind of felt were probably exaggerated or made up, or that perhaps somebody out there that knows about the fans' support for the show probably wants to play some kind of cruel joke. But yeah, I truly believe that, again, as I said, the third season probably would have been the best season, done for SatAM had it been made. And, you never know. You never know. Possibly it will be made. And maybe the support from the fans with these web comics and everything based on what the third season would have been, maybe they'll be heard. And, someone will say, okay, let's make it happen. Hey, you just got to have faith and pray it does.